Hello everyone, Minky here with the first episode of Pokemon Gen 2 AEF. This is a new Let's Play that I did the trailer for about a month and a half ago-ish. And today, it is, well, today's the 16th of October as I'm recording this, but obviously when I upload it, it'll be a month and a half ago. But today, this is Gen 2 AEF, this is obviously on Gold, Silver and Crystal. And the first thing for us is obviously to show off my team, but also I want to show this off, is that I've just beaten the league, obviously, and now we're getting a phone call to come to Professor Elm's lab, which is right here. But yeah, I should show off my team first, because that's obviously the most important thing at the moment. So, to show off, first of all, these three Pokemon, HMO 1, 2 and 3, all three of them are Mew. Which I did cheat in because I needed some HM users because, you know, for obvious sake, and my team, I only wanted a team of 3, you know, for each game in this LP, so I needed to get some HM users, and Mew was just the best Pokemon I could go for. So bearing in mind I have used a few cheats to get 3 of the Pokemon for these 3 games. And I've used glitches to get 2 of the team members, but I will say who, and I will explain why I got them the way I did. So just bear that in mind as we go along. So you know, by the way, the HM users, I'll just show them off. So the first one has the first 4 HMs. Second one has the last 3 HMs because there's only 7 in this game, and also has Thief, just for the sake of, you know, being able to use it some more and whatnot. And the last one, the third one, has the 4 TMs that can be used outside the battle. If there was 5 TMs that could have been used outside the battle, then the second Mew would have had that 5th one, but there isn't. That's just, you know, that's just the 11 outside moves, 4 TMs and 7 HMs. Alright, so the team on this file is, first of all, is Donphan. Or not in no particular order, of course, but I'm also doing Gold first. In no particular order is Donphan, Raymond the Donphan. Now, he's called Raymond because in the first Pokemon movie, which is a Generation 1 movie, you know, it's for Generation 1, there's a trainer at the beginning that has some Pokemon, right? And all of them are Kanto Pokemon except for one Pokemon, that being this Donphan. And so I figured I'd use one based on that trainer, and also call the Donphan after, you know, name him after the trainer. In which case, his name is Raymond, therefore Donphan. You know, Raymond the Donphan. You know, there's his moves at the moment. He's also got a pink bow, which increases normal type moves. It's basically the Silk Scarf of Generation 2, which is a bit odd. But the weird thing is, there's actually 2 normal type moves. One that does 10% like normal, and one that does 20%, which is a bit odd, but, you know, okay. Whereas every other one, there's only the one item, and it does 10%. In Generation 2, I think they buffed them in the later generation, but in this generation it's 10% all the way through, except for the extra normal type move. Or the extra normal type item, even, I should say. And here's their stats, as of right now. So that's right there. Next up we have Ryblue. Now I feel like the name is pretty obvious. I feel like people get it already straight away, they have an idea, but I'll explain it anyway in case you don't. So, there was a Pokemon of sorts, like, well, again, going back to Generation 1, before we knew of anything Generation 2 and onwards, there was we had Meryl, right? But we didn't know the name. So, or something, I can't exactly remember what exactly was going on with them, but the idea was that people would nickname the Meryl Peekaboo, right? And so, you know, therefore Peekaboo, right? And therefore, technically, if we didn't know Azumeryl's name, people would have probably called Azumeryl Ryblue, after Raichu, but blue, right? And obviously the same would go for Azurill in the next generation, where they would probably be called P-Blue, you know, as unfortunate as the name as that might be, but, you know, obviously that's probably what people would think in that case. Well, obviously not, because Pikachu and Azurill are Generation 2 and Generation 3 Pokemon respectively, whereas the other two evolutions are Generation 1 and 2 Pokemon respectively. But anyway, here's their stuff at the moment, the moves and the item. Obviously got the Mystic Water, which is a 10% item. Again, there's no 20%, it's just a 10% one. And here's their stats. Pretty alright. Slightly better in physical type, but only by the slightest ever so thing. So, you know, which is alright, because Bulb Beam, I mean, their special being worse is alright, because they have the Mystic Water and the water type, just like for the Bubble Beam. So, you know. And here's Doomsday, the Houndoom. Now, Doomsday isn't named after anyone from the anime. They're in fact named after a PokéGod who, you know, presumably would have, who presumably, I don't think it's based on Houndoom, but obviously, like, if Doomsday the PokéGod was a real thing, they probably were turned into Houndoom, or at least it makes most sense, given the fact that they both have Doom in their name and whatnot, and they both also have a pre-evolution as well. Houndoom, of course, from Houndour, and Doomsday, of course, from Doomsay. Yeah, literally spelled Doomsday, but without the D in the middle. So, you know, here's their moves and such. The Charcoal, and obviously some very good Dark and Fire moves. Well, I say good moves, obviously Ember's not as good, but it's at least something. It's still something that's alright. You know, and there's the stats. So, pretty nice. I need to mention as well, obviously, Raymond. I'm pretty sure Raymond was treated in as well. Actually, I'm pretty sure he was, because I don't actually know he was, because you can't get Phanpy in Gold. It has to be Silver or Crystal. I think that gets Phanpy. Although Phanpy and Teddiursa are a little weird with their first exclusiveness, but anyway, Doomsday is an obvious one that I treated them because I couldn't get them, you know, until much later, and I wanted them for the start of the Let's Play, hence why they're here already, you know. And so effectively, Phanpy and Houndour were effectively my starters of the game. So there is that as well. So, but you know, now before we go talk to Professor Elm, I actually have this in the daycare center, the Poliwag. And just like with Gen 1 AEF, I've actually taken the Pokemon, I've caught Pokemon, and put them in the daycare center. And in this case, I figured I'd use them, I figured I'd go with Poliwag, I'd go with someone else. You know. And so that's obviously ended up being Poliwag. Because I would have gone with someone else, like I didn't want to go with Magikarp, because that would have been a repeat. I might have to go with Magikarp in the future, but if I have to repeat something, it would be Magikarp, if I can anyway. But in this generation, I could go with Poliwag. I know there's a Pokemon I want to do in another generation. I know who I want to do in that generation, so that's why they're not here. If you're wondering that one, which I won't spoil yet, but you know. But yeah, here's Poliwag. Obviously level 54, she was level 10 when I caught her then, because it raised up by 44 levels. And so yeah, this is them now. Now, I remember in Gen 1 AEF as well, I was talking about how, like, when you withdrew the Pokemon, they would come out of it with an empty experience bar, right? I was talking about that in Generation 1 AEF, and I was proven wrong, right? Where the Pokemon would keep the experience points that they would have earned from level to level, right? Whereas and I was thinking like they wouldn't keep the levels, they'd just keep that, or rather, I was thinking they would keep the levels, but they wouldn't keep the experience in the experience bar. But I was proven wrong, and they actually keep the experience bar. In Generation 2, however, from the looks of it, they don't keep the experience bar, but they do keep the level. So the fact that I've withdrawn them now, I mean, they could have easily been at, say, 9,200 straight at this point, if you will. Maybe even 9,400 or so. I don't know when they would... Oh, no, wait, no, sorry. That's the wrong, I'm looking at the wrong number. So they're at 15,000... Jeez, I'm sorry, I'm going mental. Jeez, sorry, I'm losing my mind a little bit here. They currently have, I was looking at the wrong number, they currently have 150,476 experience points. However, and they need 9,000, just over 9,000 to level up, right? They could have easily been at 160,000 experience points while they're in the daycare center, but because I've withdrawn them now, they've obviously gone back down to just straight up level 54, so, you know. Now I'm going to go back, and I'm going to actually just not take them out, because I don't want to, you know, lose that experience points and whatnot. Plus I'll have to pay an extra 100 PokéQuid, which I know 100 PokéQuid isn't that much, but you know, it's still something, you know. Plus I'd rather see how far they actually go anyway, but I won't be able to see that if I withdraw them now. So anyway, here's Professor Elm. We got the S.S Ticket. This is actually something. I don't know where I want to go with this. But yeah, we've got the S.S Ticket, so now we can actually take this to the Olifant City port and just actually travel to Kanto, which is really cool, I think. So I want to go there now, and we're going to see what wonders are in there. It's down here, isn't it? Yeah. So, like, now it's been a very long time since I've been here, to be honest. It's been a very long time since I've been in the Kanto region of Johto, of Gen 2. Outside of obviously going into the league, you know. But, you know, it's really interesting, I think. I remember enjoying it a lot when I was a kid. So let's have a look then. Let's have a board. Alright, let's go. That's weird how there's like pillars on the right side, but not on the left side. Oh well. Yeah, the music. Alright. Oh, there we go. It's I don't know who this guy is called. I remember him. Yeah, there's a lot. Not a lot, but it's something. Is this our room? Doesn't seem like it. Feels like a normal room to me. But yeah, like I said, it's been a long time since I've played this, so excuse me if I don't remember much about this section. Like specifically the where my room is. I think it's actually that room over, because I remember the guy standing outside. Yeah, here we go. Here's my cabin. Yep. You can get a PC. Like, you're the one with the PC. Which is kind of funny. Yeah, I regret not healing my Muse. Not healing my Muse. I regret not using my Muse in the league, but I guess it is what it is. I mean, it's something, if anything, and you know, it's I don't know. Because they're in the Hall of Fame now, which, you know, is, I can't even remember if I did that in Generation 1. Actually, no, I did, didn't I? Because I would have had to go all the way up to Viridian City, so. Are you alone? Then let's battle. But yeah, I do kind of regret that, but I guess it is what it is. You know, it's whatever. At the end of the day, you know, I don't know. I mean, I guess that follows suit with something else I regret doing in this Let's Play, you know. But at the same time, it's like, I guess if anything, I can look at it as this. With me having the Muse in my team, I could say that maybe like I needed them anyway, just in case, like for exploration or something, or research purposes. To be fair, because I did fly. I did do a little bit of testing, and if you fly to anywhere, you have to take a step for Professor Elm to talk to you about the S.S Ticket. If you fly somewhere else, he'll still talk to you, like just flat out. So if anything, it's in a way it's a good thing that I brought my Pokemon along. my muse along even. Yeah, but I guess that's not that big of a deal if anything. Alright, oh, there's more cameras down here. Okay. Right, so, okay, I need to go over to Silver and Crystal. I want to show those off today in this episode. Actually, I'll do that. Let me save state in here, so it's, you even get 4 C's as well, that's funny. Alright, let's, save state then, and let's swap over to another game. Alright, here's Silver. And you know what? Well, first of all, proof of concept, but also I can also do the Lake of Rage, because I didn't think to try there. But okay, so first of all, let's go over the team then. So here's Lantern. I didn't have to keep this guy in. Because you can actually get a good rod from Olifant City, and then come all the way back to Newbark Town and fish for one, which is really cool. I learned that from my ASAP Crystal Let's Play, actually, funnily enough. So that's something really, really nice, I think. Some, you know, oh yeah, I didn't go over his name. So Dayton, the name, I can't remember this one, but I have an idea, and I know it's from the anime. All this will be linked, by the way. All the stuff about like, oh, this character, that character, etc., etc. So this Dayton character, even though I don't remember him now, there will be a link down below explaining, sort of, pretty much explaining who he is, right? So next up we have Egan the Magcargo, which is an obvious, like, not an obvious, but another cheated one in, if you will, because you don't get Magcargo until you get to the Kanto region. And so Slugma was actually my starter, quote unquote, in this game, funnily enough, and my only starter in this game as well. Unlike the other one where I had to deal with Vampy and Houndour, in this one I just got Slugma, so which is a bit unfortunate, but you know, it is what it is. Again, it is what it is. And really nice physical defense right there. What else was? Oh yeah, I guess another thing is I remember doing a glitch playthrough of Pokémon Colosseum, and I actually had a Magcargo in there. So I'll link that down below because I actually did write about this on DeviantArt. So I'll link that down below for you to watch, for you to read if you want to read up on that. And finally is Mickey, the Skarmory. I do remember her from, well, not remember her, but I did make sure to, I did watch some of the episode just to see if I knew I was pronouncing the name right, because like it looks like, to me, it looks like Mickey, to be honest. But no, apparently it's Mickey, you know, like Mickey Mouse, you know. So it's kind of odd, but you know, I guess it is what it is. Like if it's Mickey, then I guess Mickey it is. And here's their moves, and there's no item because they have Thief. They have Mud Slap as well, because I thought that'd be a cool little reference to Faulkner, who has, you know, flying type Pokemon. But also they have Mud Slap on them, which is kind of funny, and he also gives you Mud Slap, so I thought that was pretty neat right there. And there's her stats: 176 physical defense, but Magcargo's got a little more, but he is slightly higher leveled, so you know, it's what it is. And obviously the 3 HM uses as well. Now let's fly to Lake of Rage first, just to show off that. Okay, he does still touch you. Okay, cool. So yeah, Professor Elm, because I was thinking like maybe for some reason, because Lake of Rage. Actually, you know what? Well, actually, you know what? I'm gonna try this out, because in every other case, you're supposed to be able to, you know. Okay, that still works. Okay, fair enough. I was thinking like maybe if you go up, what if he doesn't like call you or something? So I was thinking something like that, but oh well. I guess yeah, at least I caught that on camera or whatever. So, but yeah, let's go to check up on Poliwag, see how good the Poliwag is doing. And instead this time, instead of withdrawing them, I'm just gonna see how far they're going, because obviously we can't check up on how the experience bar is doing because they're just not gonna keep it. So let's see how they're doing then. Alright, 43. So that'll be 54 then, level 54. Because they're all level 10, I made sure they were all level 10 as well. Well, not level 10 specifically, just specifically the same level. And level 10 just happened to be the level that I would catch them at, so... Right, let's go get our S.S Ticket and then we can go check on the S.S Aqua. Now another thing I guess I can go over as well is that, so this, like I said, this has been recorded on the 16th of October. This video itself, now I said it was going up early December, and that is still true. It is either going up on the 9th of December or the 10th of December. The reason for that is because that is the day when I moved to the place that I'm living at now. And because, well, the 9th is the day that I moved, right? But the 10th was the day, was like the first full day I was here. But also it was the first day when I actually slept as well, if you will. Which I know there's a weirder note, if you will, but like that's the first day when I actually properly slept here, if you will. Which, you know, because I didn't sleep until during the day. I didn't sleep that night on the 9th. So that's why I'm thinking 9th or 10th. But also because, but now I say it was odd, right? That I'm picking the 9th or the 10th rather than just, you know, the 9th specifically. The reason why I want to be able to pick 9th or 10th, I was thinking of 8th as well, but I don't think I'm going to go with that. But the reason why I'm thinking 9th or 10th is because, you know, the 9th of December this year is a Monday, and I do Minky Mondays on Mondays. Therefore, I'm thinking maybe I should, like, in case I upload something on the 9th of December for Minky Mondays, I was thinking, okay, I've got something coming out on that day, so I'll just put this on the 10th instead. So, what I'm trying to say is basically, well, you won't hear this until it's already out, but you can expect this on the 9th, but if I upload something else on the 9th, then you know it's coming on the 10th. Which is, I know it's redundant. Wow, that's a critical hit. I know that's redundant to say because this is in the video itself that's going out on that day, but, you know, I just thought, case in point, you know, just so you know what to expect, if you will. But yeah, wow, critical hit, mystic water, stab, you know, quadruple weakness. Anything that could have been better if it was raining or something. Alright, well that's silver done, so now it's time to go over to crystal. Alright, crystal time. Right, so first of all, as usual, the team. So I'm going to go in this order then, with Solar first. Solar, the female Meganium. That's her moves. Miracle Seed, which I'm sure you can predict the other two items. Although she only has the Razor Leaf at the moment. I think she had Fine Whip as well, but I obviously got rid of that because I felt that these 3 moves were better. Well, 4 moves were better, but you know. And that's her stats. Here's Typhlosion, or Flame the Typhlosion, with his Charcoal, and very nice moves. And there's his stats. It's better special. I don't know, I thought he had better physical to be honest, but I wasn't paying attention to the stats to be honest. And that's the second one, so let's go back up to the top. And here's Hydro, the Feraligatr. With these moves, really nice moves. I don't know why I still have Rock Smash on them actually, to be honest, now I think about it. Why do I have Rock Smash on him? I don't know, probably because I didn't have any better moves. Although I should teach him Surf, because Surf's, you know, a lot better on him than Water Gun. Even if you do need to go, you know, to the move deleted to get rid of it, I'd rather have, you know, what's it called? I'd rather have Surf on Feraligatr than Water Gun for a water move. Because you're gonna need you don't need a water move on him, but I mean, it's, you know what I mean, you know, it's anyway, Alright, let's go have a look at the Poliwag. See what level they're at. And I'll just like last time, I'll do this at the end of the LP as well, just to see how far they've gotten. Alright, how good is the Poliwag? 43 again, okay, wow. Okay, that's the Poliwag then. Alright, time to go get our S.S Aqua ticket. It's funny seeing the Mew sprite as the flying sprite for this game. But it's what it is what it is. Alright, so yeah, the S.S ticket. It's actually going by faster than I was expecting, to be honest. Maybe I should have taken on more in the S.S Aqua, but oh well. Because next episode is obviously going to be the S.S Aqua, so yeah, that's something, I guess, to ponder about. I got to figure out how I'm going to do that episode, by the way, as well. By the way, I should note as well, so I mentioned how I got 2 Pokemon Fire glitches, so, and this is how, if you will. So as you can see, I've got the whole Totodile line, right, in my Pokedex. I've only seen Chikorita, but I've caught the 2 evolutions, and I don't even know what a Cyndaquil is, but I've got the 2 evolutions. Right, so the way I've done this, I guess I'll explain this, is that I think everyone knows what the clone glitch is when it comes to, not everyone, but you know what I mean, I think everyone pretty much knows what the clone glitch is when it comes to Generation 2. If not, look, there's a few videos out there you can look up, I'll probably link one in the description as well, but there's also like a variation of that glitch called it's commonly referred to as the starter glitch. And what it means is, it just means like, you play the game, you start up a new game, right, as normal, right, and then when you have to pick your Pokemon, you save your game before you make your choice, right, and then you pick a starter. Doesn't matter which one, you just pick a starter, right. Let's say you pick Chikorita, right. So you pick Chikorita, and then you go to Professor Pokemon, or whatever his name is, Mr. Pokemon. And then you come back, you bash your rival, and then you get your 5 Pokeballs from Professor Realm, right? And then you go out and catch a Pokemon or 2, right? Well, you can't just catch the 1 Pokemon, but I'd recommend catching the 2 Pokemon, or you can do like, you know, the idea is that you need to do some cloning, right? So what you do then is, once you've caught your Pokemon, you can catch 1 Pokemon or you can catch 2. If you catch 2, it makes it easier, but you then go ahead and clone the Chikorita, right? As well as another Pokemon if you want to make it easier or whatever, right? Maybe I'll do a run through this one day. Maybe I don't know, but like a proper run through this. But anyway, so you clone the Chikorita. Let's say you do it successfully, right? You then go and get the Chikorita. And you clone, and well now you've got, if you did it successfully, you'll be at the starter table where you get to pick your starter again, right? And then, so you pick your starter again, Chikorita, Cyndaquil or Totodile. Now you could pick Chikorita again if you wanted to, but you don't need to. You only need to get the 1 if you wanted to. And then, so let's say you pick Cyndaquil this time round. So you pick Cyndaquil, and then I don't even know why I'm still here, to be honest. So you pick Cyndaquil, and then you go get your Chikorita and your other clone Pokemon. You do need at least 1 Pokemon, 1 scrap Pokemon if you want to clone. And then you got your Chikorita and your Cyndaquil. Now you clone your Chikorita and Cyndaquil, right? You clone them both, and again, if successful, you should be at the starter table again. This time you pick Totodile, for example, you know, in case you want to get all 3, right? And this time, again, if you were successful, you don't need to clone again, you just need to clone it 2 times, right? If you were successful, you will have all 3 starters. And therefore, you know, you'll just have all 3 in your PC, right? Well, you'll have the 3rd one you picked in your team, the other 2 in your PC, which you can obviously put in your team, right? Now, when you get your Pokédex, it will act as if you've only had the Totodile, because it doesn't recognise that because you kind of clone glitch. It's like time traveling a little bit, where it's like, or rather like parallel universe traveling, where in one universe you had the Chikorita, in another universe you didn't. So you took that Chikorita from one universe and put it in the other one, kind of thing. Yeah, that's kind of what happens, if you will. And so, yeah, that's kind of how it works, if you will. And now you can clone as many starters as you want, but it doesn't matter which one, how many of each one you do. Whichever the last starter you pick is, for me it was Totodile. Whichever the last starter you pick is, that's your starter, and therefore the one that's super effective to your starter, in this case Chikorita, that's the one the rival picks. That's why I saw a Chikorita, and why I've done nothing with a Cyndaquil. Because I picked Totodile, the game thinks I've just picked Totodile. You know, that's the universe I'm in, if you will. And you can do that basically an infinite number of times if you wanted to. You're only limited by how many spaces you've got in the PC, really. And so that's pretty much the glitch, if you will, or how the glitch works. So that's the clone glitch, if you will, and that's why in my Pokédex I've seen Chikorita, I've done nothing with Cyndaquil, and I've got a Totodile, even though I should have a Cyndaquil and a Chikorita as well. Now, as far as I'm aware, if I were to breed Aquila, you know, my Typhlosion and my Meganium, and get an egg and hatch them into their respective pre-evolutions, I should get them in my Pokédex then. I've never tried it, because I've never really had the want to do so, but yeah, that's something, and that's even would affect ASAP ones as well, with how, you know, like that's how ASAP ones, like if you were to do a glitch, like allow for glitches in ASAP ones, specifically the starter glitch in an ASAP one of Gold, Silver, and Crystal, you would be allowed to obviously do the starter glitch, and then you would obviously be able to, when you get to Goldenrod, you'd then be able to breed the starters, if you will. Or, well, I say Goldenrod, I mean the route before it, obviously, but you'll be able to breed, you know, Chikorita and Cyndaquil in this case, and get yourself those two starters, if you will. So yeah, that was episode 1. This is episode 1 of Gen 2 AEF, and so I hope you enjoyed it. I don't know what else. I don't really have much else to say, to be honest, in this episode. You know, like I said, I've got a bunch of links in the description if you want to go check out like anything like you know, stuff that I've mentioned, like my team members' names and whatnot. By the way, my team members in this game, Pokemon Crystal, Hydro, Solar, and Flame, those are nicknames that I've done for ages now, and where like I've named them after certain moves. So Hydro Pump, Solar Beam, and Flamethrower. You know, those are the moves I've named them after. You know, and it's I like the names. I think they're pretty well suited in this case, especially since all three are trioed together, if you will. You know, it's not just like one of them has a name from here, one has a name from there, one has a name from another. Like, if it was nostalgic, yeah, that'd be fine. But you know what I mean. You know, so. But yeah, in this case, yeah, those are the moves, or they come from moves, if you will, which only, well, none of them actually have the respective move as of yet. You know, maybe, I mean, I don't know about Hydro Pump, but I feel like Solar Beam and Flamethrower, those are definite moves that I'd want to get, because those are pretty good. You know, Hydro Pump is ironically probably the worst move in my opinion. You know, and I say that because for one, it's like, you know, water is supposed to be my favourite of the 3 types, and also, you know, Hydro Pump, I think it's the most. I think it's like got the most power, but on its own. But I don't know. It's got the worst accuracy, you know. So that's what ifs me about it, you know. But I guess that's, well, I would have said that's kind of what they're going for, but Flamethrower is pretty powerful, you know. Flamethrower, even without Sunny Day, that's pretty good. Flamethrower is, you know. I feel like Flamethrower should have probably had even worse accuracy, to be fair, than Hydro Pump, you know, because it actually has the effect of burning Pokemon. But anyway, I'm rambling at this point. So yeah, yeah, also to know, sorry to keep you waiting, but also to know, these are also based on sort of like nostalgic teams in a way, if you will. Well, not nostalgic, but like the gold team, the Azumarill, the Houndsdoom, and the Donphan. Those were all based on like PokéGods, or like, you know, or like you know, Pokemon of like early, you know, the like Gen 1 Pokemon, quote unquote, if you will, if that makes sense, you know. The Gen 3 team, not the Gen 3 team, the Silver team, the Magcargo, Skarmory, and I can't even remember the other Pokemon, Lantern. Those 3 Pokemon are based on Generation 3 Pokemon, you know, because they are Generation 3 Pokemon. They're obviously not, they're obviously Generation 2 Pokemon, otherwise they wouldn't be in here, but they're more common in the Hoenn region. You know, well, at least I find them to be anyway. I know Magcargo and Slugma and Skarmory definitely are. Chinchou, I feel, is a bit more of a Gen 3 Pokemon. Well, a bit less than the other two, but I feel like they're still a Gen 3 Pokemon by effect, if you will, by a similar effect, if you will. But you know, that's the Gen 3 team. As for this team, the Meganium, Typhlosion, and Feraligatr, all 3 are obviously the starters of this game, you know, and so they're the Gen 2 team, you know. And so, you know, that's kind of where the team inspirations come from. Well, specifically, obviously you know the inspiration for the other 2. In this team, for Generation, for the starter team, it's kind of more like a nostalgic team, you know, it's something that I used to do as a kid, where I collect all 3 starters, if you will, as nice as it was. And, you know, it was always fun playing with others and being able to say like, oh, we've got all 3 starters, here's how, and stuff like that, you know, like you know, I used to have a friend who loved playing with these Pokemon as well, kind of thing, you know, like having all 3 in his team, you know, that kind of thing. So, you know, I thought that was you know, a pretty nice thing, if you will. I just love the nostalgia of it, if you will, you know. But yeah, alright, so yeah, sorry about keeping you waiting. So that's it for today. So thank you so much for watching this first episode of Gen 2 AEF. Hopefully next time I won't ramble as much. And yeah, I shall see you next time. Alright, have a minky day, everyone.